So I'm with the famous or infamous RobEngland. How are you doing, Rob?
Pretty good, pretty good.
We're at Pink 13.
Yeah.
Another good conference, another interesting conference, or just another conference? What do you think?
I think another good conference. It's all going well. The crowd seems happy. Pink Floyd band was awesome. For the old hippies like me, it's brought back flashbacks.
Yeah, I remember the first time as well. So I've seen a lot, and you've seen the book and everything, Standard and Case, the new thing. I mean, just give us a little taste of what that's about. What's the basic premise of it?
Yeah, so that's something I've been speaking about here at the conference. It's just an idea that I came across. Charles Betts put me onto it originally. Talked about case management, and he said, this could be really interesting for IT. So that's case management in the same sense that lawyers and cops and social workers and things talk about a case. But there's a theory, there's a body of knowledge around that, and so it's the application of that to IT. I thought this could be quite interesting. So I've been understanding how it fits with our traditional process-centric service management and how the two might marry up, and that's what Standard plus Case is. So it ends up being just a new perspective on how we do response of any sort, which is nice because it's coming back to the heartland of ITSM. It's coming back to, the bulk of the relevance is to the service desk, really, incident, request, response. So it's a new way of looking at that. So I think it's pretty exciting for people who are in that space.
And the premise is that rather than having lots of different types of process, we have things that we know how to fix, and the cases are the unusual ones.
The unusual ones, yes. So the premise is that what we do now is kind of mostly standard, so it's predefined. We know how to do that. We've got one of those. We've got a standard model, as ITIL would say, for how to deal with that incident or that request. And if we fall off the bottom of the page, if we run out of, it doesn't fit our existing known environment, then at the moment we kind of ad hoc, we're informal about how we deal with that, except in problem management, where we put a bit of formality around how we do problems, right? But for incidents and requests, it's kind of ad hoc as to how you deal with the stuff that isn't a pre-known situation. And so what I'm saying is, let's apply case management to that informal chunk of stuff and be more formal and structured and methodological about it, and therefore able to be more efficient and effective and apply improvement to all the stuff that at the moment we kind of pretend isn't there. We kind of like to create the illusion that the world is all standard, that if you create a request catalogue, it should cover every possible kind of request there is. That sort of expectation, that when you're doing incident management, you should be able to say to people that we'll have all priority 3 incidents done within 5 days, and Standard plus Case is saying, well, look, the world's not like that. That's not reality. We've got to accept the reality of the long tail of the cases, of the unknown or unfamiliar situations, and we should have a structured way of dealing with that. So Standard plus Case is like the yin and yang. The standard and the case complement each other to give us a total way of dealing with all of reality.
And I mean, what you said there, it kind of maps onto problem and incident, but not quite. I mean, but also, would you say that you couldn't have, how does it tie in with the kind of traditional SLA approach?
Yeah, it kind of maps to incident problem. It kind of maps to level 1, level 2, but not exactly. So you can have standard and non-standard problems. You can have standard and non-standard incidents, right? So it's kind of not quite maps. And it's really interesting when you get to SLAs, because with SLAs, people tend to talk about response targets, performance targets for responding, and SLA exceptions, right? And really, when they talk about exceptions, they're talking about case.
Yeah.
They're talking about all the stuff that wasn't standard, and so they beg for an exception to not be bound by the SLA. And exception's just such the wrong word. That's trying to pretend the whole world's standard. And this is an exception. Well, it's not. It's case. It's normal. And we've got to start treating it as normal. And in SLAs, we've got to try and treat it as normal. So that means agreeing service level targets for standard and service level targets for case. And that's quite cool for when we're always getting beat up for this long tail. What's
Yeah.
wrong with you people that these incidents are not being resolved? Why are they dragging on? They're dragging on because they're cases, because they're unusual. We've never seen this before. We can't be telling you how long it takes because we're working it out.
Okay, so I mean, what are you doing this year to kind of develop that? You've got a book out or coming out?
The book's nearly out, so it's on last review, getting some input from a few more thought leaders like yourself to get a final revision out. So I'm aiming for that for next month, hopefully, or maybe April, to get it out. And then, of course, I'm coming to the UK in June for the first time ever as the IT skeptic. Last time I was there, I was a long-haired hippie in the 80s. So
what's changed?
only the hair length. So coming to the SDI conference, so that's quite exciting.
And there will be
in lovely Birmingham.
Birmingham, yes. And there's also going to be a bit of a discussion, debate, rumble in the jungle, whatever you want, with you and Chris Danson.
Yeah, I can't wait actually. So Chris and I on stage together having a debate. Some people think we're kind of the yin and yang of service management as well, like Sandon.
Which is which?
Yeah, well, that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, we're looking forward to that, and looking forward to see you in the UK later in the year. So
I can't wait.
Yeah, and we'll show you the high spots of Birmingham when you're over.
Excellent.
But for now, Rob, thanks very much.
No worries, thank you.